Oh. I guess it's about time. Well, let me tell you of the second season, shall we? It's a nice night out. A long time ago, in the second season, this is a recap episode if you haven't caught the drift. But let's continue. In the second season, our players have fallen into the unknown world of Soulis. Once again, falling through the void, a small soul snaps the world into existence. The players have decided to build their homes. One had built their mine colony's kingdom, slowly but surely. There were many fights between dragons and players. There was once a bird village before. The village of the Soulis outpost was set up. This village would become known as Bird Town, as Andarian and bird people lived there. However, one of the bird folk, the Elytrians, well, he used dastardly magic to see through the walls of the world and cheat. Well, let's just say the gods were not happy and wiped him. He lost his wings and quirk, but eventually regained them, and he built the hive. And of course, there were many dragons that everyone ended up building on. And yes, one of the players had built their massive empire, their massive kingdom. Not empire. Shh. This isn't the Republic. This isn't Star Wars. Anyway, as soon temples needed to be built in order to gain access to the gods' items. However, there were some events where people skirmished through the maze, trying to gather as much candy, and well, also knocking each other down levels unsbelief. But of course, it couldn't always last. There was one last thing. One singular thing that would define. And well, I think you all know what that is. The last dungeon. They went to the spire in Niflheim. There the elves have kept a subject, and they sealed it deep within the labyrinth. Who knows if this subject survived the end of the world. That labyrinth became the tomb, as the only escape was through the end, where they had set up two guard dragons to guard the way out. As our players marched through the labyrinth, they were met with a maze, and they were met with great parkour and a book telling them of the subject of the terraform test. There they traveled further and got warned by the entity that the elves were after them, that something was trying to kill them. There they met Samuel the Forgotten, an echo of the original Samuel, who's long since been forgotten in the history books. Who knows where the real Samuel was? But they left the echo and they traveled deep within. Someone had left armor and told them good luck, and told them of a small story of how the elves were entrapped within the labyrinth, as not all of the labyrinth was explored. As only parts of the labyrinth were constructed, the others most likely sealed themselves in the void in areas, slowly to perish to death. No one knows how the world ended. Some said it ended in a bang, and some said it ended in a whimper. But out of the few dozen heroes that had first traveled on the first steps of this first era, and that were met along the second era, to Season 2. Only 3 remained, and 2 from the past, and 1 from the past has finally managed to possibly awaken in the third season, as he did not make it with the others. As the 2 originals, Soul and Isabella, managed to fight their way through 2 seasons and travel through, they bring along a new friend, Buster, to the 3rd season, where there they meet new where they meet more players who have awoken up in this world. Who knows what their stories will be or what new lore there will become. For this will be the 3rd season, where 2 great continents rest upon the world, one golden land and one barren as desert infernals, where great magic and where dangerous dimensions lay, for the deep dark exists. For creatures that listen on sound, and for the creatures, the world can be polluted to complete destruction. It is up to the player to decide. What will be the player's fate? What will they choose this world, as the world is more smarter now? As the world was meant to be peaceful one day, but something broke it. Who knows? Who knows what the final mark will be, or the final nail in the coffin for this world. But something now resonates in the world, and it's hungry.